Hello, my dears. I just got back from dancing. It's fairly late on a Friday night, and I feel called to share something that is still in process, but I've noticed that there's a lot of different people that I tune into, and I haven't noticed anybody talking about this particular thread, so I'm still working with it, but I wanted to share it in case it resonates with you, in case it catalyzes something for you, in case you have something to share that can help, or help is a funny word, that is resonant with somebody else, or that catalyzes something for somebody else. And actually the fact that I used the word help there is very much in alignment with what I'm talking about. So what I've been working on internally in this time, I've talked a lot about this chrysalis time that I'm feeling, that a lot of us are feeling as humans, that we're really with all that's going on in the 3D world right now. It's like all of these old ways of being are coming to a head. It's reaching that chaos tipping point where then we can catalyze a whole new way to be in relationship with life, in relationship with each other, with ourselves, with all that is. With God, if you use that word, with love. Hi, welcome if you're new to my channel. It is whatever it needs to be for me in each moment. So I offer things not as some leader for people to follow. I simply offer what's present for me when I feel called to. And I offer it freely so that if it resonates with you, great. If you take some nugget of it and it catalyzes something else that works for you, great. Whatever it needs to be for you, I trust. I'm simply sharing. And in this instance in particular, I'm sharing when I'm very much still in process. So I haven't been sharing much because I can feel, because what I'm attuning to is a real deep disentanglement of patterns and frameworks for how we see each other, for how I see myself and how I see others, and these conditioning patterns that we've inherited. I know that's very amorphous right now, so let me get specific. It's a perfectly valid, in my view and my experience, all of the ways of being that we can be as humans are equal. They're equally valid expressions of being human. I might not agree with them all. I certainly don't. I might not like them all. But they are just as human as any other way to be. Yeah. So just the same as I don't believe there is one religion that is the way for everybody. I don't believe there is one framework that is the truth for everybody. But I'm fascinated by the lenses through which we interpret and experience what we call reality. So what's been really present for me is disentangling speaking truth from judgment. Yeah. Practicing no, that is causing harm, stop it. While, and I'm not perfect at this, I am working on it, while learning how to not judge either any of the sides of that experience. Learning how to not judge that person who is causing harm, even though I'm saying no. Learning how to not judge or I suppose add or detract value. Learning how to not see somebody as a victim who is experiencing what we could call being the victim of a harmful impact. We can call it that. It's a perfectly valid framework. I've used that framework. I understand that framework. We can call this thing good and this thing bad, or this person good or that person bad, or this decision. We can do that, and we've been doing it. It's kind of how we got here. And by kind of, I mean definitely. Yeah. Take a look around. This is what we create when we go all the way down that path of us versus them, of good versus bad, of disidentifying from certain parts of ourselves in order to identify, in order to like, if good is what I need to be, and that's acceptable, and if I'm good, then I'm lovable, and I'm worthy of love and life and taking up space. If I need to be good in order to be all of those things, then, I better know what bad is so that I can not be that, right? So, but something happens the moment I decide, that's bad, and I am not that, so I am good. The moment I decide to use that framework, I have to ensure that there is something and someone and a whole litany of entities and experiences that I can call bad, so that I can disassociate from that myself and make sure that I am proving that I am good. I know this is a lot, but think about it. That means I have a vested interest in proving to myself that I am one of the good ones. And if I have a vested interest in that, how likely am I to identify with somebody who is one of the bad ones? Not. I have a vested interest in not identifying with them. But what happens when I cut myself off from identifying with someone who's causing harm, when I do that, I don't get to learn what happens when I make choices like that. I don't get to learn without having to do it. I don't get to see that and go like, where does that live in me? I guess I've actually done that in this different way, in this different circumstance, but it's the same thread. Let me put an example. I'm a white person. Yeah? If I want to not be one of those racist white people, then I have to make sure that I am proving that there are people who are the racist white people that I am not. Versus the practice of going, okay, I am white. I am living in the benefits, gross as that is, of favor from a system that I've inherited, that I perpetuate, that is built upon people of color being less than, so that I and my people can profit. So as much as I am working to extract myself from that system, I'm still a part of it. I still benefit. Like, just people looking at my skin, they're gonna make certain decisions about me, especially now. But when I can look with nuance, with nuance at a person who is causing racist harm, and see for myself, okay, well, this is where I'm also benefiting from that system. you know, or these are ways that, or that thing that I said to that person when I didn't even, didn't even realize that I was saying it. But of course, that carries the impact of me and my people and oppression over years. And that was not my place to even say anything. It doesn't matter what I think in that situation or whatever it is. So what I'm saying is, when I'm able to identify with all of the characters in a film, for example, and see their different perspectives and identify with their different perspectives when they're not painted as good or bad, then I get to identify with all of them and learn from all of them without having to follow their same path. Yeah. Wicked is all about this, that film. And the show, although it's been so long since I've seen the show that I'll just speak to the clarity with which the film portrays this, which is, it's so blatant, but Galinda keeps needing to find people who need her help. And so she sees people as victims who are like, I'm good. I don't need your pity. You know, like, I don't need you to look at me with those sad eyes. I'm good. Please just treat me like a person, like an equal person. I might, you know, if somebody in a wheelchair, they might need some access to be able to have things be accessible, but they certainly don't need pity and a whole bunch of energy keeping them in a constricted place. Yeah. However well-intentioned she may be, I don't know how I even feel about that phrase anymore. You know, like, yeah, okay, I get that for her. So what I'm trying to say is, my inquiry right now is to go, okay, where am I Galinda-ing? Because, yeah, it feels good to be there for somebody. It does. It feels good. There's that word. Let me be more specific because it's a very general word. I love the feeling of being in proximity, being with somebody and witnessing with my whole heart and being and self, witnessing them stepping into a whole, stepping in like they weren't there before, bringing awareness into whole parts of them that they hadn't identified with before that are fulfilling to them. I love witnessing that. And I can love and enjoy witnessing that and being a part of that without needing to be like, it was because of me. I'm the good one. I helped. I taught. You know? There's a part of me that's been taking self-identification from that experience and going like, well, I did good there. I helped teach them that thing, you know, and yes, it is them and they're doing the work and all that, but there's part of me that's still just like, but I got to be a part of it, and aren't I great, you know, and getting this little ego boost from that. And that's also why I haven't been posting, because there's this, it's scarier, as scary as, you know, I've shared before that I am like shy. I'm an introvert. So every time I post something, I can't even look at the comments for a good long while. And then I always love them when I see them. And I really deeply, deeply love you who are engaging. I deeply do. It's not you, it's me. I'm still very sensitive and just like working on that. Yeah. So part of me I was asking, am I just scared to post a video? And I was like, no, that's not it. Because I've definitely posted tons of things that I was scared of. But when I know that I need to make something, I share it anyway. I've never had a video that I knew I needed to make that I didn't share. Ever. I share it anyway. And then I'm like, okay, I put it up. I did my job. But the thing that was scarier for me is if I don't post something and then people don't know, like they don't know whether I'm doing enough right now, whether I'm good enough right now, whether what side I'm on right now, that I'm standing for the good. That was really scary. Really scary. Really scary. And so I've been leaning into that because whatever people think, it doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my experience of what I've been focusing on right now and how deeply transformational it is to be disentangling from needing to be seen as good. Because there's that key right there, seen. It's physiological, but it's also optical. It's also dependent on something I have no control over, which is other people's opinions. And it breeds a kind of sharing that I don't align with, which is sharing with an agenda. And I know I've done it. I've totally done it. I've totally done it. I've been like, come to this protest. And judge people who don't. Not proud of that. But that's what I'm working to disentangle. I have no idea what's going on for you. But I do know that I don't know what's best for you. And I do know that when I say every time in these videos, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, share if there's something that catalyzed for you or you have another idea or another way and you feel called to share it, share it. It might spark something for somebody else. But I am not here to be a leader. And I'm not here to say that my way is the way. I'm simply offering from the middle of the soup right now that I'm noticing where the words bad and good are embedded in the fabric of my lens and disentangling from needing them, which does not mean, it certainly doesn't mean I do nothing. It means I get more articulate. Things like harm, things like racism, things like patriarchy, misogyny, whatever it is, bliss, joy, love, unity. Being specific instead of that easy way of just blanket painting something, which every time I paint something in that brush, it's either a closed door or an open door. And if I'm opening entirely to something that protests that, or, professes goodness, then I'm also letting in things, little vibrations I might not jive with. Versus seeing and experiencing the whole person or film or, feeling into the nuances there and just noticing what resonates with me for all of those characters or all of that message. And there are a lot of messages right now. Yeah. So, so again, I'm not saying this is the way, but what I'm noticing is being more cultivating discernment when there's somebody who, whatever side of the political spectrum they're on, that sounds binary, wherever they are in the political spectrum, it being a spectrum, I'm listening very intently for, are they speaking in us versus them? Are they requiring an enemy in order to feel like they're good? Or are they speaking from that unified place? To me, the call right now, and I know it's not the same for all of us, but the call for me right now is transcending into unity consciousness, which doesn't mean we're not individuated. We're still us, but we're also aware that we are unified and that we are equal, deeply, deeply, deeply equal. In that space, when I'm listening, when I'm with somebody or I'm watching something or witnessing something, I am doing so with enough space that I'm not going to keep them there, wherever they're at. I'm not going to keep them in the identity of being, say, a victim. I'm not going to keep them there in my energy. I'm going to be peeling off all of those labels so that I can be with this person deeply in what they're experiencing right now. Honor that what they're experiencing is real, without shrinking into that being the only possible real. Yeah. So while maintaining this space of all that is possible right now, right now, right now. So what that looks like, and it changes moment to moment, but I'll have times when I sing, when I just, or I've talked a lot about just noticing, is my spine long or crunched? You know, tuning into my body and how my body can support coherence. Trusting that when I feel like singing or moving or making a mudra, a shape with my hands or with my body, noticing how that shifts my energy. And we are made of energy, as we know. Yeah. In such a way that it's creating a very, very yummy state of being. And then, as I think I mentioned in the last video, that then I can, when I feel really clicked in to something yummy, that I'll offer that then, not in a should way, but I'll just offer it for in case there are other people or beings who feel called to resonate with that, or feel resonant to step into that frequency. Maybe that's an expansion for them. If it's not, they won't even notice because there'll be some other miraculous, blissful place. But if it's a step in a direction that they're called to, but are in circumstances where it's hard for them to be in that state of being in body, that me holding that and putting that into the universal soup makes it easier. It's just like when the first 4-minute mile was run, then people knew it was possible and did, now I don't even know what the record is. Now a bunch of people have run a 4-minute mile. Yeah. So the more of us who do that, the more of us who entrain those pathways of consciousness, the easier it is for people who are in the crunchy circumstances to just shift. And for their whole reality, their whole identity, to the extent that they wish, in the way that they wish, again, honoring deeply everyone's sovereign spirit, everyone's divine choice. But just offering it in case it resonates. Yeah. And that when I take action on behalf of other people, that I do so with and in and of love that is so vast that it doesn't need to keep them there so that I can feel good for helping. Yeah, that I'm not doing it as a helper. I'm not doing it as a savior. That I'm doing it with the love of how yummy it feels to be with each other and to see the wholeness in each other and to stand together and to sing together and to dance together and to just witness. Yeah, it's very real. It's very powerful. A teacher friend of mine said today that he was meditating and got this message from Kuan Yin energy about compassion, and that she had said compassion is like the water. It's like the dishwater. Or it's like the water. If right now you think of a lot of what's going on, not all of what's going on, but the loud bits of what's going on, or like dishes with a bunch of old gunk just baked on there, you know? And she was saying you can scrub at that, but the water is gonna soften all that stuff, so it'll be so easy to wash it away. And it really resonated with me because what I've been focusing on is being the water, is being the love, is joining with the millions, possibly billions, probably billions of people who right now are focusing on being that love, heating up the water. As we raise our frequency, we heat up that water so it becomes even more solvent to dissolve the stuff we're ready to let go of. Yeah. Even though it's very loud, very real. Y'all, it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. This is the way through. If you look at the stories we've been telling ourselves about ourselves, if you look at the movies, and I'm a Marvel fan, yeah, but I remember when our current dictator-in-chief was elected, and my husband was like, oh my God. And I said, yeah, but we tell this story, don't we? We love this story about the heroes coming in at the 11th hour when things are the darkest, and then us banding together and saving the day. We love that story. We tell ourselves that story all the time, and here we created it. In how many different ways we've created it. And I would wager that in your life right now, like in mine, there are different harmonics of this playing out in different ways, different opportunities for you to stand up and say, I don't say no, I don't resonate with what's going on here. Here's my resignation, or I'm walking out, or, you know, whatever. With love, honoring that there are different ways for everybody. But I've been looking a lot at the stories that we tell about ourselves and about each other, and how that's where it starts. That's where it starts in terms of changing our relationship with reality. If we want to keep identifying as the hero, we will always create somebody to fight. Personally, I'm done with that. I'm done with needing enemies so that I can feel valiant. It's like, we've so done that as humans. I'm like so ready for the new. I'm so ready for the new. Yeah. Which means that I'm deeply examining all the ways that I still want to be the hero. And what's exciting and also sometimes can be terrifying. But I'm choosing to make it exciting. Hi, baby. Hi, kitty. Is that I don't know what comes next. The last video I did was who we get to become. Who we get to become is, I'm still building the neurology and the system to be that coming. And that's exciting. That's exciting. And so I'm putting energy into holding that space for myself also. Because if I was to fill it now, I'd be filling it with what I already know. So I'm holding it open. I'm tuning in. I continue to ask, what is there for me to do right now? And certainly I have projects. But there's something else coming in that I am leaving a big juicy space for, because I can feel that is so new, and that, like always in my life, it will utilize everything I've ever learned, everything I've ever done, all my skills and interests and, practices and brain power and all of it, yeah. Because what I've asked for is the most loving, blissful, fulfilling, unifying experience is. And so I know that's what's coming in. Co-creation from that place. Yeah. So it was a bit of a meander, but I'll leave you with this, because I thought of this the other day. Hello, darling. Another one of the things that's been helping me, I mentioned that I sing, is that, me, I often go into different accents, and it's sort of 11 p.m. and at that time of night it's a little easier to just be English. So with that singing, I've been noticing there's a particular tune that has lived in me certainly longer than this life, but since I was very young in this life. I don't even know how long, but little bits of it, and I tend to just sing it, and I've been singing it a lot more lately. And I just had this feeling, because it feels ancestral for me, and I just had this feeling to offer, if it resonates, to see what your spirit song might be. Because I'm finding it to be very healing for me personally to like intone this sort of heart song. It feels like it's really helps me get into a coherent state of being, with which I do everything better. But it also feels like this deeply personal aligned, unlocking thing that I can do for myself. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And it might be interesting, like the mode or the tune that comes in for you might seem a little bit odd, or it might seem obviously to you like, oh, of course, this is home, this is so perfect, I always sing this kind of music, I always listen to this kind of music. Or it might seem like, I don't know where that's coming from, but it feels right, so I'm just gonna do it, and that's okay too. So yeah, I'll leave you with mine. This is for the waters. Love for the waters in me and the waters in you and the waters of this whole earth and cosmos, all that is. I offer, if it resonates, may the waters within you, may the waters within our earth be perfectly restructured to their divine essence, their original, most life-giving structure. With love. I didn't think I would be called to share this, but I'm going to. So if it resonates with you, thumbs together and forefingers, if you have them, or energetically, can make this, it's like a water drop, yeah? And then middle fingers go in to create a heart. So there's water and that love. And, oh, sorry, no. It's the ring finger, this is your heart. Your heart is connected in the energetic meridians with this finger. So this is the finger that goes in to make the heart. This is the water. And these are pyramids that lend structure to that. And they also lend direction if you feel like sending it out or up or down into the earth is very powerful too. So however you feel with that, it can go this way. There are also other structures. This can be very womb healing, because there's that framework as well. Or you might find other resonance with it. But I've done it both ways, and utilizing that right now for the healing of the waters within and in our world, and then offering that to all who resonate. And oh, it is so juicy. I can really feel it very quickly, and spending any amount of time with it, just that pulsing vibration is palpable. So I offer that. I love you as you are, who you are, kindred. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for anything you feel called to share to your fellows. And again, I do read the comments. It just might not be soon on that time spectrum, but I do deeply care. Thank you. I love you.